What's up, folks? Welcome back to On Texas Football. Happy MLK Day to everybody out there. Thank you for joining us on this holiday edition of our Monday night live stream, The Winning Drive. We appreciate you. I'm Lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers, joined by fellow Lifetime Longhorn, the young prodigy CJ Vogel. Coach Shipley is still out. He's actually taking care of the grandkids, but he wanted me to tell everybody he said hi. He's going to be joining us either later this week or next week. But there are good reports coming out about Jordan Shipley and how he's doing, so we can talk about that. But also national title game, especially we're going to do kind of an in-game live watch for the next 45 minutes or so while we're distracted watching the national title game. Right now, Indiana up 3-0 on Miami. So we can talk about that too, get into it. We'll talk some Longhorn football, of course. The transfer portal is officially closed. So we'll talk about what that means. We'll also get into a little NFL discussion because there are a lot of Longhorns that are still representing the Burnt Orange playing on championship weekend. So we'll get into that too. Rocky, thank you, man. You know, I appreciate free swag. I'll wear it all the time. Matter of fact, representing Shipley Ranches right now. CJ, what's going on, brother? How are you?
We're doing good. We're feeling better. I know that this weekend was a tough one, but we're feeling better, so that's good. I've been liking what I've been seeing so far, Rod, by this national championship game. I'll tell you this. If you want to see what a national championship team looks like, it's both of these teams, right? It's the trenches being as physical as they are. It's the trenches being as dominant as they are on both sides of the football. They're hitting tonight, Rod, and that's something I've loved watching. And I think it's something that, with Will Muschamp, should be something that we see much more of with Texas defensively.
I agree. I'm not trying to say they own the same level. I'm not trying to say that at all. But I will say the Kim Kardashian, Nicki Minaj, Serena size, Cardi B size, Megan Thee Stallion size, J-Lo size butt. For y'all out there. Texas in the Michigan game in that Citrus Bowl, I thought they was pretty damn physical.
Yeah, they were.
Right? Woo! I like that. Thank you, Sandy, man. But I thought they were really physical. So to your point, I don't know if that was Muschamp, the influence already taking hold, or if, Texas was feeling cheesy in the Cheez-It Bowl. I have no idea. But that was one of the more, in terms of just guys trying to lay haymakers, there were a few guys trying to lay haymakers in that game, and I'll give props to them. So maybe it's something about bowl season. Who knows?
I think a lot of that, Rod, might have just been guys trying to, prove that they deserved a shot on the field, right? Yeah. Wardell Mack was a guy on the outside that you saw a hit, and you're like, whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
That was flying around. I mean, we know Ty Anthony Smith, Jelani McDonald, those are guys that lay the wood when they're out there. But that, through, about 12 minutes in this game tonight, that's something that I've noticed and said, okay, especially with the front seven play, that's something I'm looking at saying, okay, they're close. They're right on the cusp. And at previous years, maybe they even were there, right? You look at the 2023 front seven, and I mean, they had some dudes. So, they're close. And I'm excited to see what, the evolution is for Texas under Muschamp there.
Yeah, me too. All right, we'll talk some about that, but throw out your questions, comments. We'll try to address as many of them as we can. Super chats always jump to the front of the line. You can interrupt the show at any time. It'll be a truncated edition because everybody's distracted by the national title game. So we get that. Also, I do see Stevie Lee, my former teammate. He's going to join us here momentarily. But first, let me thank our lead sponsor for tonight's live stream, our friends over at Vaughn Lane, and we'll dive into the rest of the program. Thank you very much to Vaughn Lane. Folks, they've been great to us, and they'll be great to you as well. We know a lot of you out there, you're done with the holiday season. Now it's time to get back to the business meetings, the conferences, that packed travel calendar. And if you're still doing it the old school way or the harder way, right? You want to work smarter, not harder, and you're still driving yourself to these different conferences in different cities, or if you're still taking those short routes through to airports, that can be really stressful as well. You're dealing with flight delays, and the TSA can be a nightmare. Traffic can be a nightmare if you're driving yourself. You also get there all tired, and then you have jet lag. You don't want to have to deal with that. That's why our friends at Vaughn Lane, they provide you with a luxurious travel experience that is second to none, folks. You arrive at a luxury hotel terminal, first class travel experience all the way. You board in minutes, and you settle into one of just 22 oversized leather seats. You enjoy complimentary Wi-Fi, beverages, hot towel service, snacks on every trip, and on select departures, you can also get a complimentary meal. Also, they're rolling out their Starlink internet across the entire fleet, which is going to make the Wi-Fi even faster and more reliable. So if you're trying to take those business trips, it can be great for you. Von Lane serves Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Fort Worth, Plano, the Woodlands, also Memphis, Nashville, Atlanta, Knoxville. And if you're traveling with a group, Von Lane offers you the option to charter your own Von Lane, and you can design the trip from pickup to drop off. Just visit vonlane.com. That's VONLANE.com. And you can use the code OTF26 at checkout if it's your first time, and you'll get $20 off your first ride with our friends at Von Lane. That's OTF26. Von Lane, your private jet on wheels. All right, let's get right to my man Stevie Lee, because he is waiting patiently, and we know he's got stuff to do. He probably wants to get back to watching the national title game. He's distracted. I know. Thank you, Stevie. I didn't think he was coming on. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, man, Stevie ain't coming on. That's all good, because everybody's focused on the national title game. But that's how loyal Stevie is, folks. He is a man of his word. He's a man of honor. Thank you, Stevie. We appreciate the time.
Hey, man, it was not the national championship game that I shouldn't be working. It's Martin Luther King Day.
Oh, that's great. That's true. That's true. Well, happy MLK Day to you, brother. Well. Appreciate you. Yeah, keep it. I like that. All right. Well, in any case, let me ask you about the national title game. Who is your pick and why?
Yeah, so my wife and I are on different teams right now. She picked Miami, and I picked Indiana. Man, Indiana's just rolling right now, and they're playing inspired football for their city, their school, their coach, for their quarterback. I think that something is in them that they want to prove something. So I picked them, man. They just want to prove it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, CJ, I didn't ask you, CJ, who did you pick and why?
I want Miami, and I say that because I live with a Hoosier, and I cannot have him experiencing a national championship. I mean, I'm just going to be dead honest about it. That's been a big growing fear of mine over the last 2 months, and
wow,
I'm afraid he's going to come back tonight after a couple beers, just
it'd be intolerable. Okay. That I didn't know. That's personal. Then I didn't get that. Okay, that's personal. Okay, yeah. I don't know many. I don't think I know any actual Hoosier fans. I know that I see them on social media now a lot more because they're very proud, and they should be of their program. But I don't know any personally. See, Stevie, you know any Hoosier, like actual Hoosier fans? Like I don't know any.
I don't know any fans, any actual Hoosiers. I don't know anybody from up there, man. But they're playing inspired. So
yeah, no, I'm with Steve. I'm picking Indiana. I picked Indiana too because I think it's one of the greatest stories in the history of football. College
it is. It truly is.
I want to see it come. I want to see it through. I want to see it through all the way. I think it's that good. I mean, you're literally talking about Hoosiers Part 2. I mean, the movie, they can make a movie out. It's that good. This there and now you got to study this if you're a football theorist like myself. They've pretty much shattered a lot of the preconceived thoughts and notions and beliefs about roster construction and how to build a football team and how to do it, the blue chip ratio. Good Lord, they have less than 10% blue chips on the team. Yeah. Like that's insane.
It is.
How's that possible?
It's as impressive as anything that I think I've ever seen in college football. And, you know, the way that they're taught and the way that they go about playing the game offensively, very rarely do you see missed assignments with that offensive line, right? Mm-hmm. Very rarely do you see them not in sync with the quarterback or the guys running the routes defensively. It's almost like they know what's coming, and it's been mad impressive, right? They have 4 interceptions on the opening drive. You talk about being aggressive.
Crazy.
That's starting out of the gates, and they hit, man. That's something that I've loved to see as well. Stevie, I know that there's also been a conversation about how old they are. Do you buy into that? Is that something that you look into?
I do buy into that. There's something there. I mean, you know, we're talking about 19-year-old kids coming out of high school playing against 24-year-old kids that are, you know, a step into the NFL or, you know, just been lifting weights a little bit longer and just stronger and can be faster, man. So the game has started off really fun and really cool until I heard that there are Big 12 refs.
Only one flag so far.
They can mess it all up.
Who is that bad? Is that bad for Indiana or bad for Miami? I don't know, because Indiana's like,
it's horrible for Miami.
Yeah,
Miami is very undisciplined in comparison to Indiana. Indiana's like, their quarterback, right? They take the personality of their quarterback, first row of class. They bring the apple for the teacher. They don't overstep any lines. They're the goody two shoes right now, but they're very disciplined, and that's all to Cignetti, 100%.
Yeah, service academy style, even like they're. I think Army's the only team with fewer penalty yards per game than Indiana. But I would say Miami made history. They're the only team in college football playoff history to get 0 penalties in a game. That game versus Ohio State, they had 0 penalties.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just playing their best ball at the right time. All right, let me just stay on the national title thing before I ask you a couple of Texas questions, Stevie. Let me. What trait would you take from either one of these teams to give it to Texas if you could, or a player? A player or a trait, something they do really well, or a player you're like, nah, if I could add that guy from this team, that's the guy I would add. Would you just say you replace Arch with Mendoza?
No, I'm Arch. I'm on the Arch wagon all the way.
Okay.
But what I do like about Indiana is I noticed the last couple of games that they're taking on their coach's personality, right?
Yeah.
I think our offense need to take on Sark's personality, and our defense damn sure need to take on Muschamp's personality.
Yeah.
Like you kind of see their personality as they're playing the game, how their coaches coach them,
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to our defense next year taking on Coach Boone's personality, and I'm really looking forward to with all the weapons that we have through the portal now, really opening up Sark's playbook and taking on his personality.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. Was it Rodriguez? The discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline, man. We got killed by penalties early on in this season. We were, one of the top penalized teams in the country. Mm-hmm. So we definitely need to clean that up for sure.
Yeah.
I like that. I just love the way Miami hits. That front seven, I mean, I don't know what his name is, but number one, the middle linebacker, had a hit on Hemby out of the backfield, one of the first plays of the game, and I was sitting there just like, man, that's just different. Also, Malachi Toney, just anytime he touches the rock, it's hard not to just be enamored by his ability to wiggle and evade. And you get a guy like that. I know Sark's gone bigger with his wide receivers, but sometimes you just need a guy that, runs like Sonic the Hedgehog, and you just won't touch him. Like, it just doesn't matter.
Nice reference. I figured you was too young for Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know.
That's what I dressed up as for Halloween, Rod.
Okay, all right, my bad. I wasn't sure about that. Wasn't sure. All right, hey Stephen, let me ask you your final thoughts on the transfer portal class. Anything else you think you would like the Longhorns to add in the transfer portal? It's closed, but there's still there's a ton of guys still in the portal. What do they need? What do you want to hear? The next
we added the kid from Wake Forest on the offensive line.
Yes, Yanni.
And I thought that was it. I thought that kind of shored up the offensive side.
Okay.
Defensively, maybe a DB here or there, but man, I really feel good about this team. I feel good about us putting. I feel like this is putting all our chips on the table. Like pushing everything in, we're all in. That's the way it felt to me. I know we were disappointed with some losses that we had in the portal early on in the recruiting process, but at the end, pushing it really, really hard and getting the players that we actually wanted, that made me feel really good, and I'm really optimistic about next year. I don't think we need anything else, man. Let's ride with what we got.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah,
got me feeling confident too. All right,
Stevie, let me get your thoughts on the way too early season projection for Arch. I mean, you look at those skill guys. You get the number one wide receiver, Wingo returns, Emmett Mosley returns. You added Jermaine Bishop, and I mean now you got 2 first-team all-conference running backs in the backfield with them. I mean, how high could the ceiling be for Arch in your eyes next year?
Very high. That's why I said they pushed it all on the table, man. This is all in, all or nothing, championship or bust type of team that they put together, man. So I'm really, really high on Arch, but you're exactly right. We were really high last year.
Yeah.
So, coming out too early, thinking about that. Rob, meet me out at spring practice and we'll take a look at it,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
we'll go to spring ball and actually see what they're doing, implementing plays like that. I think that this offense, we got running backs that can catch out of the backfield. Yeah. We got running backs that can hit between the A gaps, and we got receivers that can go over the top and catch over anybody. So the weapons are galore, and long as Arch locks in, get some good offseason training, setting his feet, this offense we can be in this game right here next year for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You upgrade in pass protection. I think Sark is just banking on, because I don't know if you have road graders. I'll just be honest.
I don't think so.
I still don't know if you got road graders that's just going to move another human being another yard or two and clear the way for a running back. But you do have really explosive running backs who are great. Both of those guys are great in yak. Yards after contact, and he's banking on the skill positions being so scary and prolific that if you don't put two deep safeties back there and you leave Ryan Wingo one-on-one, or God forbid you Cam Coleman one-on-one, then Arch gonna be able to take advantage of it. So you're gonna have to make a choice: light box and give Texas the run game so that their O-line can, obviously win that advantage, or at least win the numbers and the girth advantage. I see y'all in the chat there. Or if you want to take your chance and try to put bodies in to win the numbers advantage in the box, well, you're going to leave one-on-one Emmett Mosley, a Cam Coleman, or a Ryan Wingo, and we'll take that. We're going to find that. And a veteran Arch Manning should be able to find that. So that's what I think is a simple choice he's trying to get teams to make.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Steve,
for both of you guys, we got a super chat real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
From Rocky P, Stevie, and Rod for Colin Simmons to take that next step. What's he got to do this offseason? What have you seen in his game that could elevate his play next fall?
That's a good question.
That's on you, Rod.
I don't know how much elevated it needs to be.
I thought my biggest question for him this season was when teams try to take you out of the game, because you mostly affect the game as a pass rusher. That's your calling card. That's your X-Man ability. You're one of the best in football. Your BGO is elite. Your speed rush is elite. You don't really need many counter moves. So my thing would be, number one, I want more counter moves. All right, from him off of his speed rush. Like how many moves have y'all seen Colin Simmons have? Like pass rush moves. He don't need them. He don't need a lot of, because he's so damn fast off the ball. He don't really need a lot of them. But I would say, hey, add some pass rush moves. All right, have a couple of counters ready. But this season, I challenged him to affect the game, not just as a pass rusher, like affect the game as a run stopper on run downs too. He did that this season, I thought.
I think the kid can do anything. I would like for Muschamp to dial up some unique blitzes and cross blitzes with the game, 2-3-man game, stunts with so the kid, when you look at him, 6'3", 240, there's not much you can do with that in the offseason, but try to get faster and a little bit stronger, but you don't want to get too bulky, right? And slower, but just working out real hard this offseason and get into the playbook where Muschamp can trust him on everything,
Yeah. Do that. And I think there was some, penalties or something like that earlier. I would, cut that out too.
Yeah.
I think he had a couple of early on, a couple of offsides, and then a few of those early on in the season. But I don't think it's anything concerning. All right, Stevie, thank you very much. Appreciate your time, brother. I won't take up the rest of your night because it flies, but we always enjoy you and enjoy your expertise and knowledge. Tell that lovely family of yours we said hi and happy MLK Day to you.
I appreciate it, man. Happy National Championship Day to y'all too.
There you go.
But happy MLK Day. Thank you.
No doubt, brother. All right.
Stevie.
Thanks, Stevie. Stevie joins us courtesy of Hargrove Roofing. Let me throw that out there as well. HargroveRoofing.com. Also, they're offering a free roof inspection if you reach out today, 512-645-3202. With offices all over Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. But they're the most pro burnt orange roofing company out there, and also the most reliable roofing company out there. So, and they're fine folks. I've met them myself. We've actually done a couple of events with the folks at Hargrove Roofing, and they are reliable and they're passionate about customer service. So reach out to them today, 512-645-3202, HargroveRoofing.com. All right, let's get back to some questions here quickly. The Colin Simmons thing is interesting, though. I will say this. That's one of the things that I think may have, I think it's a checklist of reasons Sark moved on from PK, but PK did a good job, and we all know that. So I'm not trying to hate on PK at all. I don't want it to sound like that because I'm a PK fan.
Yeah.
But I think there's a belief that more could have been done to scheme up Colin Simmons to give him matchup advantages. And I don't feel like enough of that was done. I know y'all just going to point out that he dropped back in coverage a lot, way too much. And I get that. He did drop back in coverage too much for my liking as well. But I'm not really getting on that because it's probably a very small, minuscule amount, but probably in too many critical situations like third down. But I digress. I think with a much time, you'll see them do things to try to weaponize him. Like you'll see them probably do a double mug front so that you can isolate the tackles on the outside, or have an unbalanced front, overload the front to one side, Colin Simmons isolate on the other side. Like I didn't see enough of that type of stuff. And I agree, like Stevie, twists and stunts in games. You know who's the best example of that right now, arguably, is Indiana.
Yeah, no doubt.
Indiana, their defense is not really aggressive from a schematic standpoint, but they run a lot of twists and a lot of games on the defensive line. And they're probably the best in the country. They don't have a double-digit sack guy.
No,
but
they got a lot of guys that are really, really good at getting home, right?
Yes.
And that's kind of the worry, Rod. And to your point, it's not just the weaponization of your best player, but it's, if for Texas, how do you utilize a Brad Spence more? And I think some of the frustration last year was, to Rick's point, we didn't see enough Anthony Hill.
Yeah.
Whether it be the A gap, whether it be just off the edge, whether it just be wherever, get him rushing the passer because he's one of the best in the country at doing so when called upon doing it. We just didn't see enough of that in my eyes. So I'm with you. So, and as a result, if you do end up rushing a Rasheem Biles and a Colin Simmons and, a Lance Jackson, how do you stop that if you're, a front five? I don't think you can. And on top of that, it just allows life to be super easy or much easier for Colin Simmons, which, as we know, anything you can do to help out Colin Simmons, that's fantastic. That was also a really weak pass interference flag, by the
way. I missed it.
Both guys hand fighting.
Let me see it.
Hand fighting. Eyes on the ball, plays the ball.
Because his eyes are on the football, and they're both pushing each other. So it should cancel it out. Like both of y'all are going at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I agree with that. I think that was a BS call.
Golly.
Big 12 refs. Big 12 refs. Don't forget, Josh. I know what Big 12 refs said. Ooh, that Miami front is.
I'm saying I had this conversation earlier. I think it was after the first. I'm really reactive, obviously, with a lot of takes. Y'all know that after following me for a while.
What?
But I truly do think in maybe 5 or 6 years, we'll look back at this Miami front seven and we'll see multiple All-Pros in the NFL.
Wow. Multiple All-Pros?
I think this is one of the better front sevens we've seen outside of a Georgia or Alabama in the last 25 years, Rob.
You're not going to say multiple Pro Bowls, All-Pros?
I think Ruben Baines is going to walk in and become a guy. I think Mesidor is unbelievable. I think that linebacker that they have, number one, I think these guys run, they hit.
In that case, they should win. Because
you got to score a point first, right? The Texans saw that.
Why you got to bring up the Texans, CJ? Was that necessary? Why you gotta bring up the Texans, man? We're having a good time here. Talking about the national title game. Why you gonna bring up the Texans? You know that. You know I'm a Texans fan, and you know right now we all feeling a certain kind of way. Why you got to do that, man?
He's a fake CJ. He's a fake CJ.
It was brutal.
I know. I'm sorry,
brutal, man. I don't know what's going on, man. The CJ Stroud. I don't know what. Like that defense. All you got to do. Yeah, he is trying to do it. That's why he's bringing up the Texans stuff. He's trying.
Well, I've always said this too, and I'd like to get your take on this because I'm a hater at heart. Through and through, I'm a hater, Rod.
I don't believe that, but go ahead.
I've always said, when your team gets knocked out or the team that you root for loses, you should always jump on the bandwagon of your friend, right? You want to see your friend succeed. To hell with that. I want my friends to lose. If I can't win a championship, I sure as hell don't want them to win a championship. That is the worst take I've ever. My high school buddies have long debated this with me. I've almost cut them off because I don't want y'all having anything to do with me if that's what you're thinking. So tonight, I mentioned it earlier.
Yep.
My buddy's an Indiana fan. It's all about the U tonight for me. So that's where I'm at.
I can't hate on that, man. Like I said, I don't know any Indiana fans, and the last thing that I would want is somebody that's going to basically be able to give me the business and grill me.
Exactly.
And and knowing that my job is to cover a college football team, and yet they every day gonna give me how they won a national title.
Exactly. So
yeah, I agree with you, man.
All right, I wanted to at least test the waters on that take because
nope. I feel you. I think most of us do. Yeah. TJ speaking at the player haters ball. Yeah, right. Hate. Oh, it's great. Okay, have you seen the player haters ball skit?
Yes, I have.
Okay,
I'm aware.
All right, there you go.
I know.
Make sure that you got the reference. There you go. That's why CJ's an old soul. I don't know why I question TJ. He's an old soul. All right. Dim Horn says, why can't Texas DBs play that tight? I think that's also part of what Sark didn't like about PK. I said there was a checklist of things. He was like, I'm a little fed up with these things. And a lot of it was, I think some of it was the soft coverage, which oftentimes did not even align with even the more aggressive fronts and pressure packages that PK would put together. You would end up having a very soft coverage technique behind it, which doesn't make sense. So I agree. And I think ultimately Sark wants to play more man coverage and he liked to play more press man coverage. But they now that they have the athletes, now we have to see them kind of execute it. But I think they do want to play more press man. A little different than Indiana, which plays the most zone of any team in the Power Four. Like they just
they don't have the horses athletically, right? But they've got the coaching and the the tutelage and the smarts, right, to run the zone schemes. One thing for me, and I think I do think it was right after that Georgia game, Rod, where Texas, late you get busted in coverage and zone coverage. You don't, play assignment sound in the back end, and you get whooped in the second half. And I think that's when Sark said, "Hey, we've been recruiting these guys that are long, lengthy, and can run.
Yep.
Why are we not at the line of scrimmage, right?" And Texas had issues in that game creating separation on their own. So why? Georgia has good guys on the edge. So I think that's part of it. But I also do think that we're looking at a Texas cornerback room, and I'd like to get your thoughts on this with Smoke Matthews coming in, Hayward Howard coming in. You've got guys right now that are long, lengthy, and can run. And I'll tell you this, one of my favorite guys that I've seen at the junior day was Montre Jackson out of Lakeview Centennial, 6'1.5", maybe, ran 10.39, very lengthy, says Texas is his number one right now. So, look, if that's what you're recruiting, you got to at least deploy it, right? Give it a look, because that plus your pass rush should be a very difficult way to move the football against, and it just hasn't necessarily been the case.
Yeah, it's a good point. And I do think that's the kind of athletes like Cade Phillips is that type of body that you want playing that. Kobe Black kind of fit that. I don't know if Kobe Black has the foot speed that would align with that, but Smoke Matthews does. I'm a big Smoke Matthews fan too. MJF says, I use zone coverage, always seems tight. What will it take for ours to resemble that? Remember, guys, in 2024, Texas, with Janae Barron,
I know it.
With Janae Barron and Andrew Makuba, they played tight zone coverage. They played a lot of zone coverage. I think they played probably maybe 20% man at the most, and it was tight zone coverage. So zone coverage is really all about your eyes and Janae Barron's eyes were magnificent. his vision was fantastic.
Anticipation, yeah.
Yes, like I said, I think he had 5 picks that that year as Thorport won the year. 3 of those, he was a secondary or tertiary defender. He wasn't even a primary defender. His vision was so damn good. He was in that zone. He was guarding his guy and other guys. He was like, I'm a plus defender. I'm a half defender helping the safety too. He was so good. And you don't really have guys that are that knowledgeable in the scheme, and also that I would say that advanced in their recognition as Jade was. But Jade was what, a 4th, 5th year player? He was a veteran player at that time too. So I think that's part of it. But
I agree. Hey, we got our first touchdown of the game. And Rod, if you watch this, I mean, I think this is the exact type of defense that Sark wants to go away from. It's a bailing corner for no reason, which gives a free release, free room to work, and yards after the catch ability. That was, I don't want to call it pathetic, but I mean, how frustrating is that? So that's what you're being taught. As a fan, I totally get the frustration, because that was a play that had no business. And if you're Miami, tell me, do you not have the athletes to go against Indiana on the outside?
Mm-hmm.
Indiana's doing it to you.
Yeah,
I mean,
yep. And it seems like that's your advantage. Yeah, I think he stepped out too. It seems like that's your advantage, and it seems like a non-competitive play, right? When you just bail out, it's like, I'm going to give it up. But like I said, I got to go look and see what the coverage is. Sometimes the coverage will allow for that, but if you're the DB, if you have good pattern recognition, all right, and route recognition, it'll bring you closer to the catch point. Yeah. Like you bailing out, that is lazy to just bail out and run to the deepest third or deepest quarter. That's pretty lazy. Now you can stay over the top on an upfield shoulder without just bailing out and sprinting on a bail. Trust me, I had bail technique at times too. You don't just sprint out. I like for my guys to even shuffle out, actually, which is what Jade, going back to today, he would do that. He would shuffle out. Very rarely you watch him get and open up and like cross over in his stride. When he was bailing, he would kind of shuffle so that he could always redirect. All right. Too much secondary talk here. Let's get to Cisco. Cisco, what's up? He says Simmons did get fooled a few times against Michigan against the zone read. There you go. That's good.
That is a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a tangible way to improve.
Yep. I agree with that 100%, especially with dual threat quarterbacks. Yes. I agree with that 100%, Cisco. I can think of like 3 or 4 times right now in my head where he got. I also think of a couple of times where he blows up the play, like against Vanderbilt and some things like that. So, but you're right about that. That's a great one. A couple of other questions. How about this? Who is going to play from Rick? Who is going to play left guard?
Great question.
Still, I mean, hey, you still got guys in the portal, Rick.
I don't know if there's the answer on campus right now. Sikorsky is obviously a guy that's played left guard before, but only 6 starts and all of them at Oregon State. So are you trusting that to be the guy to step in and be a plug-and-play option? Personally, I don't think so. But the staff took him for a reason. So, look, we'll have to wait and see. I don't think you have your left guard on the roster right now, and I know that there's been some questions about Bray Lynch. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that right now. He's in the national championship game. His name's not in the portal. So, what more other than just guessing at the moment for Lynch in Texas? That's the best that you could do.
Yeah, the portal's closed, but you have time, and there's a lot of players out there. And you pointed out there's still a couple of teams that still have players who have yet to make decisions.
Correct.
I still think you should try to add either depth or frontline talent on the O-line in the portal. O-line is where I was surprised Stevie didn't say O-line. Stevie said good about things. I thought that was for sure he was going to say O-line. He feels good about it.
I had this conversation. I posted this on OTF earlier today. The fact that, the portal's come and gone, right? There's still guys, there's still decisions to be made, right? But it's January 19th. It closed on the 16th. I'm sitting here saying, I don't know if the offensive line's been figured out. I think that's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
That should have been priority one before you go get Cam Coleman, before you go get 2 all-conference running backs. The offensive line should have been the biggest addressing of the entire year, right?
Yeah. I feel like you went to the grocery store and instead of buying like the necessities of bread, eggs, and meat, you bought Oreos.
Yeah, I go get ice cream, some double fudge, I go get some cookies.
Awesome. It's great. But
yeah, hey, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it, but it's not, I'm not going to be healthy.
I don't know how sustainable and healthy that is. But like I said, they did get they did a couple of pieces. Like I said, you considering that was the number one issue all season and the top priority going into the offseason. And everybody assumed, all right, they're definitely gonna rebuild this O-line and they're gonna spend big money to do it and get their guys. And they did. They went big game hunting, and they actually upgraded at wide receiver, running back, several positions. But I'm not sure they totally upgraded on the O-line.
And
yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah. Well, CW, yeah, they tried the Michigan guys. Well, if you try and you fail, you got to find someone else, right? They did that at running back, right? It was Jaden Baugh, it was Isaac Brown. You fail, you end up with two really good options elsewhere. Hey, you did your job. I still don't know if they achieved that with the offensive line, which, again, to the point, should have been the biggest point of emphasis of any.
Yeah, the joy. I mean, like you said, yeah, I know there's people still out there and guys still out there. So
hey, maybe in a couple of days, this is all moot. Right?
But like I said, the question is, did they upgrade? And at different positions right now, you can almost guarantee, like, oh, I like that upgrade. Running back and, I think wide receiver, obviously with Cam Coleman, to upgrade. Rasheem Biles, over LaFau leaving. LaFau's a good player, but Biles is next level in terms of his playmaking ability.
All confidence.
Yeah, so I don't feel that confident that I would win a debate that they upgrade the O-line. So but it's still got a lot of time. Still got time. It's not, and we don't know who improved on the O-line. There are still some guys that are in the system, that have been in the system, that could take a leap. And if they do, thank Lord in heaven that
the
happened.
Ones that didn't transfer out, right?
The ones that didn't transfer
out. Did leave.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
So we'll see. So
yeah. No, I'm with you. That's the only thing that can hold back this team. Right now, do you think they have a national championship caliber O-line?
No.
Stevie said he believed they did.
I do not.
I believe they have an O-line that could make a run in the playoff, but not necessarily win games in the playoffs, but not necessarily go to the national title.
Because if this is, with what we believe this offensive line to be, and right now, from what we know, it's Gooseby, Sikorsky, Robertson, Baker, and then Siani, right? Your pressure, or your guys on the edges, both your tackles are going to be really solid. That wasn't the issue a year ago.
Mm-mm.
So you're getting a guy with 0 career starts at right guard, a fifth-year center, I like that, and then a guy with 6 career starts at left guard. And I'm supposed to believe that all of a sudden that running game against Georgia that disappeared, against Ohio State that disappeared, against Arizona State a year ago. They ran for 30 yards against Kentucky? Why am I to sit here and say, yeah, I know for a fact that that's going to be better? Maybe it's just those running backs that are all world. I don't know, but I should know right now that offensive line should make Arch's life easier, and I don't know that for now.
Yep. You did get your first touchdown. 1 yard rushing touchdown by Indiana.
Plays 85 yards. That's pretty darn good.
But I agree with you. And I think right now the only thing that I could say is that the math would benefit Texas. Like you would have to defend them with a lot of 2 high and 3 high safeties, which would lead to lighter boxes, and maybe that's why you don't need road graders on the O-line. But I'm with you. You probably would have some similar issues that you have had in recent years, which with different weapons, and that if Arch plays like he played the last half of the season, you still could end up, like I said, making a playoff run. I don't know if you are a national championship caliber O-line just yet. Yeah. All right, a couple of more questions before we get to the other things here. How about this one from Marco? With this new year, can we get rid of Steven and get Sarkisian? Wow. Sarkisian, I like that.
Clever. Well, for that to be the case, Texas would have to be top 10 in penalties?
Yeah, they would have to, and they're 130 something now in penalty.
Yeah, that's a lot of teams to jump right there.
Maybe Muschamp's presence will help that.
Hopefully,
he's definitely.
You go get a sergeant or admiral, someone that's
exactly right. Yeah, I agree. So he could help that. Some Siggy Smalls.
Smalls.
Wow, man. Cignetti's seen a lot of interviews with Cignetti and.
All right.
Okay, now that's enough. Now.
I was going to say, Sandman, that wasn't the worst one we heard. CB, we got to work on that.
That was the worst one. Yeah, but I mean, it's hard not to be a fan of Cignetti. Like, I don't know how you hate on that. All right, Rand says, do we need a franchise tight end for that offense, or do you think Townsend can be that? That is a good question.
I don't think you need one, Rod. Not with Arch. Now, with another quarterback, perhaps. With Quinn, I think you definitely did.
Yeah.
Because Quinn was so quick to find where the tight end was. It was almost like that was his predetermined guy to go to.
That's true.
With Arch, look, you went from 67 targets, 73 targets, down to 45 targets to your number one tight end with Arch Manning. I just don't think you need a capable guy, no doubt. But I don't think you need a world beater, or I just think that it's a different philosophy with the quarterback there that, you could get away with not needing, an all-pro or all-conference level guy.
Yeah, because what the Arch safety blanket is? His scrambling ability.
Yeah, that's it.
That's his safety blanket. It's his scrambling ability. That's what he's going when it's, and it's going to be looking downfield to the wideouts. Good question there. How about this one from Rick? He says, CJ Rod, do you remember seeing another linebacker with the eyes Biles has? That is good. You're talking about at Texas up here, because at Texas, I'm comparing him to Derek Johnson, but, Derek Johnson, like Jalen Ford had really good eyes.
Jalen Ford had great eyes, especially in coverage.
Yeah, for a linebacker. I think it's somebody, just because, you could have great eyes and not necessarily be an elite linebacker. So we're naming some of the guys but he does. I think it's his instincts too.
Yeah.
And that is linked to his eyes, Rick, but his instincts, man, he processes so quickly, like it's so well, and triggers so quickly on plays. And he's just got this play. Like I said, I play with guys like this, so I know it's true. There are some guys who are ball-oriented players. Like they think ball, they go for ball. The linebacker Makuba, I like that. They think ball, they go for. I play with guys. I play with Nathan Vasher. I was not that kind of player, so I know there's a difference. And he when he gets the ball in his hands, he's a playmaker. He's got linebacker. He's got 3 touchdowns on a year. Like, that's absurd. That's absurd. So I can't wait to see him he's a little undersized, but in today's football, that's not as concerning as it once would be.
Let me add this too. I think Tyrone Smith has great eyes too.
Oh, I like that too. Yeah, you're right.
Coverage, whether you bring one, leave one, whatever it is, Tyrone Smith and Biles, I think, bring some of the best eyes that you've seen at the linebacker spot tandemly in quite a while.
Yeah.
Is Miami going to go for this on their own? 34.
I saw it. Look like it. Oh yeah.
Okay. This could be the game if they don't get it. I'll be dead honest.
Dude, let's see it.
They did go for it.
We got an advantage. It's supposed to be on the O-line.
I don't know if they got it. That might be a favorable spot.
They're gonna give it to him.
I mean,
they're gonna
maybe not being able to get a single push is. I think that should tell you everything, right?
I bet they'll give it to him here. I don't see any Miami player pointing though, but they're just going. I said they're gonna give it to him. They didn't even look. They didn't even try to measure it or investigate. They just gave it to him.
I know it.
They
said, "Oh yeah, you think so?"
I just think. Let me see.
I don't know. That might just be a call on the field.
I feel like. Oh, I don't know. I can't see where the ball is. Look at the Sick. Daddy's facial expressions are like Jim from The Office, dude. They're like funny.
Rod, circle that. If I was an announcer right now, I'd be saying, circle that play because we're coming back to it. If they stop that ball, short, that game's over. Instead, you get a 25-yard play right after it, the first completion over about 6 yards for Carson Beck. So maybe that's something there. I don't know. But that was a big play, a big call there.
You're right. It sparked something.
CJ Daniels. I thought he was going to be that's not CJ Daniels. Sorry. This kid had a massive game earlier in the playoffs as well, though.
Their receiving core is underrated, man. Like Miami. It is.
It is CJ Daniels. Sorry. Yeah, from Liberty to LSU, now to Miami. He's had quite a run there.
Oh, he started at Liberty.
Yeah, he had a massive year.
Look at this. Ooh, nice tackling. That's one thing about these two teams, too. You don't get a lot of yak stuff. Well, these are really good tackling teams. All right, let's thank our lead sponsor one more time because we're approaching the end of our live stream. We'll answer a couple more questions and get out. But thank you to our friends over at Von Lane. We appreciate them, and you will as well. Our friends at Von Lane, they offer the most luxurious travel experience on the road today. We know a lot of you out there have to get back to the grind. You know, you're done with the holidays, so now you got to get back to conferences and meetings and packed travel calendars. If you're still flying short routes or driving hours between cities, there's a much better way. Our friends over at Von Lane offer you a first-class travel experience. You board in minutes at a private hotel terminal, settle into one of just 22 oversized leather seats. You enjoy complimentary Wi-Fi, snacks, beverages, and hot towel service on every trip. And on select departures, you can even have a complimentary meal. And right now, they also have decided to upgrade their fleet with Starlink internet across the entire fleet, making Wi-Fi even more reliable and faster as well. Von Lane serves Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Fort Worth, Plano, the Woodlands, Atlanta, Nashville, Memphis, Knoxville. And if you're traveling with a group, you can even charter your own Von Lane coach and you can design the trip from pickup to drop off. If you are taking Von Lane for the very first time, they're offering you a great deal right now. Go to vonlane.com. That's VONLANE.com and use the code OTF26 at checkout to receive $20 off your first trip with Von Lane. That's Von Lane, your private jet on wheels. Thank you very much to our friends over at Von Lane. We appreciate them for sponsoring the winning drive of the primetime edition. All right, CJ, I did want a couple of notes before we get out of here. Bobby did point out that no more departure announcements are expected from Texas, which is a good thing. All right. Yeah. That means that looks like things have been pretty much settled. And with the portal closed, Texas shouldn't see any more attrition, but acquisitions, I think, is the big issue here. Are you going to get more help on the O-line? I think is the biggest question. Do you have any other position other than O-line that you expect Texas might address?
They've been bringing in edge rusher after edge rusher, right?
Okay.
They've been rumored to be in it for 4 guys. They brought 2 to campus. Wendell Gregory, right? He was a big one. Jaden Woods was the other. Look, I think that's PK saying, I don't know if I have the cards in the deck right now that I want.
Yeah.
Which is maybe surprising because I think edge rusher has, the potential to be as deep of any room Texas has, but if you're the new guy walking in saying, I want it to be this way, I think if you're the head coach, you got to say, yeah, whatever you need, you go get it, because I want you to feel like you can succeed at a high level immediately.
Yeah. I mean, look at Miami. I mean, Miami's got 2 bookend edge rushers. Maybe the belief is that they need somebody more, opposite Colin Simmons.
Yeah.
And that could be.
Did I say PK? My bad.
Huh?
My bad.
Oh.
The chat's grilling me here. Look, we're almost out of it, fellas. We're almost out of it.
So that cold medicine. No. You sound much better, I would say. We did a show maybe last week, and you did sound like you were dying.
If you would have asked me, I would have said I felt like I was.
Yeah. You sound like it. Okay, well, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. We know that a lot of you out there were distracted. We were as well, watching the national title game. But happy MLK Day, happy National Title Day to everybody out there. CJ, I hope it works out for you. Right now, it ain't looking good. Looks like
no, it's not.
it ain't looking good for you. Thank you to Matthew behind the scenes. He's a real MVP, twisting and tweaking the dials. Nobody does it better. Thank you as well to Stevie, my former teammate, lifetime Longhorn Stevie Lee, for joining us. We appreciate him taking the time. Thank you as well to Von Lane, vonlane.com, and thank you as well to Hargrove Roofing, hargroveroofing.com. Appreciate each and every one of you out there for watching and for listening. For CJ and for Matthew, I'm lifetime Longhorn Rod Beavers. Until next time, hook 'em home.
Hook 'em.